This is a 1976 Morris Mini 1000. It's called a 1000 because it has a 1000 cubic centimeter engine, which isn't actually true since it has a 998 cubic centimeter engine. I guess they thought that nobody would notice the missing 2 cubic centimeters. It's painted white with an interior. It's small, nimble, has tiny pedals, 10-inch rims, which might as well be lawnmower tires, and it's a blast to drive. The Mini was designed by Sir Alex Arnold Constantine Isagonis for the British Motor Company in 1959. It wasn't the first car with a transverse-mounted engine and front-wheel drive, but it set the standard for small cars with that design. It was commissioned to be 4 feet wide by 4 feet high by 10 feet long, with 6 feet of that length being passenger space. This car actually measures just over 4 feet wide, a little over 4 feet high, and, 10 feet long. I'm some guy named Adam Ford, and this is People Who Are Not Comedians in a Car Doing Something Other Than Getting Coffee. My guest today is Patrick Angman. Patrick used to own Java Speed scooters in Providence, Rhode Island, but then the economy crashed, the store went out of business, and now he occasionally washes his stock of unsold scooters. Siri, call Patrick.
What do you mean? An African Patrick or a European Patrick?
Oh, never mind, I'll do it myself. Patrick! Hey, it's Adam. What's going on? Want to go for a ride? Cool, I'll be right over. Terrible cell service around here.
Are you ready for some motoring?
And it works like this. You might have to make it longer. Alright, where to?
Gee, I hope there's enough room to turn around.
I'm not sure. This thing's got a pretty long wheelbase. Vroom vroom. This is camera 1, camera 2, camera 3. Unless, I don't know how it works in the studios, that might be camera 1, camera 2, camera 3. So, I've actually decided that this is camera 1, this is camera A, and this is camera blue. So when did we meet? We actually met in that English class, right?
Well, yes, I think that...
I think you like had an awareness of who I was before that or something?
Yeah, because of course I read your zine.
Oh, that's right.
So you were a bit of a public figure in that regard. But yeah, then eventually we ended up in a class together. It might have been creative writing, or it might have just been an English class.
It was that English class that only had like 6 people in it.
I think this is also familiar for you and me because we drove old VWs, and they have that very similar horsehair smell to the upholstery.
Oh yes. It's like, smells like an old car.
Well, and you knew that it was the first day of spring when you went to your VW or old car and you opened it up and this smell came out of it because the temperature had reached the point where it activated the smell of the upholstery.
Where are we going?
We're just going to do a scenic tour of the area. We're going to go around the old airport and by the pond. So once
around
we have
the old airport and by the pond.
Yes.
The hardest thing about this car is the turn signal being on the wrong side.
That's the hardest thing to relearn.
Well, it's like you reach for it here and it's not there, so you get used to it being here. But then when I get back into my other car, I'm constantly turning on the windshield wipers.
There is ample headroom. I'm 6'3" and I am not jammed against the ceiling.
Surprising amount of room in these cars because the walls are so thin. There's like nothing to them.
Oh wait, this may be closed. Is this the closed road? I bet we could have gone through, but who wants to be a scofflaw?
I do.
I've used that to my own advantage sometimes when you're annoyed by something.
I'm annoyed by a lot of things a lot of times.
And what you do, instead of saying, the next time I see that, I am going to be so annoyed, you make a game out of how many of those can I see in a day?
Like the stupid 3-wheeled motorcycles?
If you are annoyed by the stupid 3-wheeled motorcycles, if if you're in the wrong frame of mind, you say, if I see another one of those things, I'm going to explode. And instead, what you say is, I wonder how many I could see in a day.
Oh, so I had to go, at my old job, I had to go to this loyalty training meeting.
Okay.
And the general manager comes in and talks with us about, you know, being loyal to the company. He starts talking, and for some reason, within the first sentence or so, he said, you know, and then he said, you know, again, and then it just became like, then I started counting, and I can't remember a thing he said, except that and it was toward the end, I'm like, oh, is he gonna make it? Is he gonna make it? And I almost cracked up laughing, and I'm just sitting there at this table with like 7 or 8 other people, and he's talking. He crested 50. He was like 51 or 52 you-knows in there. I couldn't not hear them then. It was just, that was all I was doing, was just listening for the next you-know and counting it in my head.
We did a similar thing in the wintertime with the scooters by participating in the cold weather challenge.
Taking a scooter ride on a bitterly cold day.
Yes, and it was strictly honor system, but you had to document yourself riding a scooter in very cold conditions. And the winner got maybe a bumper sticker that said, I won the cold weather challenge.
Woo!
And everybody else got a bumper sticker that said, I participated in the cold weather challenge.
Oh, you're a participant. And, good for you.
And you had to get a picture of yourself with a bank sign.
With the
thermometer. Of course, the eventual winner was always someone in Minnesota where it would get down well below zero. But what that really did was it took the sting out of very cold weather,
right,
and instead made that something that you eagerly anticipated.
Right, it's like, I'm going to go
thinking,
do this.
Oh, good grief, it's going to be 10 degrees. Instead, you said, it might get down to 10
Ooh, let's
tonight.
try it.
And so it totally transformed your feeling about the cold weather into something that you eagerly anticipated. Speaking of like annoying things, we also had customer bingo in the scooter shop. So there are certain things, no matter what your business might be, there's certain things that people will always say.
Yes.
And you can get sick of it, or you can make a joke out of it. So we had a bingo card with all of the various things that you could count on people almost always saying.
Under the counter?
Yes. And it totally took away that if someone asks me this question one more time, I'm going to scream. And instead it made it a fun challenge.
Oh, they said it, I win.
Exactly.
So here's something that bugs me. We live in a culture of wait. Have you noticed that?
Do you mean waiting for things or things that are heavy?
Waiting for things. The thing that drives me crazy the most is my other car, my Toyota. If I go out to it at night and I open the door, I have to wait like 2 seconds while the light slowly and pleasantly comes on.
Interesting.
Rather than just turning on. And it just drives me nuts because you have to stand there because you can't see anything until the light comes on. You have to wait for it. Like, and computer interfaces do the same thing. I was trying to, the rollovers of the menus like fade up and fade back down again.
Okay.
And it's just this constant like little wait for things. And like there are, you know, companies I used to I was trying to find a really good solitaire program for my Mac. And there's all these solitaire programs where like you click on the card and it like 3D animates itself lifting up and turning over and setting down and it's like this freaking wait every single time. Yeah, stop it. Just do the thing you're supposed to do. Like when you open your refrigerator, the light just comes on. You don't have to wait for it to come on.
Well, I do know what you mean, and I definitely understand how the animation of the card slowly flipping gives you a certain amount of wow factor.
Right, but so
for the first time you see it.
Right.
But then once you need to use it regularly, it's an engineered nuisance.
Exactly.
And I think some of your annoyance at that comes from the engineer in you, which is also something that nerds have in them, which is that engineers and nerds appreciate complexity and they enjoy using their knowledge to manage complex things. So So if you give a nerdy person a mini computer that can do 100 functions through the careful manipulation of 2 buttons, they love that because they love knowing all the shortcuts of the pushing of just 2 buttons to get 100 functions. Whereas for a non-nerdy person, they would really rather have 100 buttons, each of which has a clearly defined function. Within limits, of course.
The funny thing too is what really bugs me about these things that are like designed to wait is that I know that there was some engineer who did that
on purpose,
and there was some marketing person who approved it, and like there are people who decided that it should be that way, and those are the people that I'm pissed off at. It's not the actual thing itself, it's just doing its job, but somebody made it do that, and that's like, yeah.
But this is where the muscle cars live.
The muscle cars live?
Yeah.
A commune of muscle cars?
Yes.
Oh, I see. Ooh. Nice.
Camaros, Corvettes of many vintages.
A lot of Corvettes. Smell something?
No.
This car lets off little smells every once in a while.
I'm not going to pull your finger. I think I just picked up a new smell.
Yeah.
A little bit of a hot oil smell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, smell. What do you get with old cars?
Yeah.
A variety of little smells. Oh, what's that smell? That smell.
I just reached for your parking brake because I'm in the driver's seat.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. So there's a couple different types of sauces, but they're not well marked. And living dangerously.
Is that hot?
I don't know yet. I too like to live dangerously.
These fries are perfect.
We'll have one.
Yeah, they're good. And that's your beans.
That is perfect.
I know. They're like
That is
perfect. Suddenly clouded over all of a sudden.
No, that's New England for you.
Well,
If you don't like the weather, just wait 5 minutes and it'll change.
So every place in the country says that. Everywhere is like, well, if you don't like the weather in Alabama, just wait 5 minutes.
Yeah, just like every place believes that they have the worst drivers.
Exactly.
Everywhere you go, people say, oh, the drivers around here are the worst.
This is what epitomizes Massachusetts drivers to me, is if you've got 3 lanes going either direction and they want to turn left from a side street, they'll pull out into the first lane until they can pull out into the second lane, until they can pull out in the third lane, until they can make their left turn. What distinguishes Vermont drivers is that they will drive 47 in a 50 until you get to a 2-lane passing zone, and then they'll go 60 up the hill. It's like, oh, it's a hill, better put on the gas. You're like, yeah.
I don't know about you, but my personal driving style, derived from driving not so great vehicles a lot of the time, is that if the only thing keeping you on the road is the ultimate quality of your tires, you're pushing it.
Yeah.
You're licking the flap on your performance envelope if the adhesiveness of your tires is what's keeping you on the road. I'm a fan of solar arrays. They're not pretty.
There's a ton of them up in Vermont
but,
these days.
I just think, like, by all means, get electricity from the sun. Do it.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah.
What do you think, Sarah? Are you having fun? It's a good time, isn't it? It's It's not bad. Yep, that's it. Ice cream truck.
And you, oh! Wonder if we can get it to stop somewhere.
Follow that ice cream truck!
Follow that ice cream truck!
He honestly can't be going far. Tell him we're on a scavenger. We need to get his picture.
Hey look, coffee. You wanna get coffee?
I thought that was the other show.
Nah, I don't like coffee. I hate coffee. Why would I want to get coffee?
Okay, so we're going to take a right down here onto Spring Street, which might be this one. Yes, it's this one. Take this right.
This entire video is just going to be you giving directions.
So let's take a right here. So let's take a right here. We're going to turn left. We're going to turn right here. Take this left. And we are going to be taking a left turn. Now we're going to take a right turn. Let's go left here. And then we're going to go left again at a fork in the road. Left again right here.
Left, right? Right, left?
Left here. Clear left here. We're going to go straight here. We can't really go straight because it's a dead end. Go back this way. Right, right. We're going to go straight through this intersection. Take a right down here. Take this right. Let's take a right. We're going to go right here. We will continue straight here. Let's go straight through this rotary.
Which way are we going?
Over there. We'll be making a turn soon. We are going to turn here. Tell your turn here. Slow here. And then left. Go right, please. Turning right here. Left here. And we will go left. Turning right here. Turn left here. Go straight through this intersection. We're going to turn right through the common. Make this right here. We're going to take a right at this light up here. You can
back it up
go
like
out that way. Let us go left here. You could go either straight or left here.
Well, tell me.
Let's go straight. Take not this thing right here, but that right there. Turn left here. Let's take a right here. Take a left here. And make a left turn here. That way.
Yeah,
Right this way.
Where are we going? Left, right?
Right. Turn left here. Going left here.
And I never